Welcome to today's quick sketch. As usual, I'm using the HB 9000 Faber-Castell series. It's the green, dark green colour, and a picked graphite mat in 8B, a conditioned kneadable eraser, a white vinyl eraser, and a paper stump. So starting with our HB, I'm going to look at our reference, which is a white cockatoo, and I'm going to draw a few lines. This one here is the edge of the wood, and this is a lovely photo courtesy of Merrill Watkins, and the cockatoo is going to stand out, so I'm going to have to do the background white. Sorry. I'm going to do the cockatoo white, we're going to do the background dark. Okay, so we have that line there, we've got his cheek here and his bit here, so I'm going to draw what I think I see here, which is all adjustable. So don't get too carried away, don't get worried. If you do it wrong, it doesn't really matter. We have an eraser. There we go. And you've got to remember, every picture comes with its own personal ugly stage. So 1, 2, 3, a couple of little bits here. And I want to make sure that I get the beak in the right spot. Let's see, it looks a little short there. Oh, I see, it comes up here. And we're going to put the centre line in for his face, because it's not in the middle, and the beak will come round like that. So when you do ears and beaks, make sure that, put that up higher, that they're actually situated in the face and not just sitting on the face. Ears especially, a lot of times people forget that they're attached towards the front of the face, not the back. That's nearly, oh, it is 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock. There we go. Round, that's the front. And then we've got the back part of the mouth, of the beak, the underneath. Here we go. So that's one main part. So now that we've got this in, we can follow that line up. We can put his eye in. A little beady black eye. I'll put a little highlight in there. Must be a boy, because the girls have red eyes. There we go. A little bit of rough skin around the edge, and we've got to adjust that so that we can get his nostril space in. Okay, so if I put this in, I can see that that is too close, so let's have a look. Doesn't matter, I'm going to adjust it now. Put the space in. That's going to be shadow. That's going to be shoulder. So my first line here, probably better than these other softer ones that I put in. If I was doing this as a full sketch, I would be spending a lot more time making sure all the bits were in the correct place, because that's what I would be copying. But this is, so you get the idea of how to sketch from life, although we'll keep moving, so you have to be a lot quicker. But you have to practice being quicker. Okay, coming up. Looking at the shape. One blob, two blobs, another blob. These are the shadows from the feathers on top and underneath. And a little bit darker here, facing downwards. Okay, this is all dark. Yeah, is that the right spot? No, it comes from here. That's better. Bit of shadowing there. Now we've got his cheek feathers here. That's pretty much all light. What have I got here? Big one, pointy one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It comes across there. And feathers on the ears. So we've got a couple of these in shadow here. Not on the ears, his ears back here. What am I talking about? My mouth works by itself when my hands are drawing. There you go. So here, let's do a lovely curve. The feather here. We've got the smaller one here. Then we've got another shorter curve here. So his crest isn't really up, but he is looking intently at us. That's why I like this pose. It was very cute. Okay, now we've drawn roughly where he's going. Fill that in, that's going to be darker. What I'm going to do now is fill in the back. Let's see. Nice and dark. Just remember, everything is adjustable. I'm doing this in the, there's a piece of paper under there so you can't see the, or supposedly so you can't see the picture underneath. On the other side of the paper. After a while you get sketches in the sides of other sketches and bits that overlap. But I try and start properly. There we go. So you're looking at the negative spacing here, just deciding what it's going to look like. Remember, this is a split second in time as well, so don't be too worried if your feathers are a little bit different. They probably would have been moved to that position very shortly after this photo was taken. So I am pressing firmly. Cutting out the light bits. That's all it's doing, is basically making our white cockatoo white by making dark background. So a lot of the bird is going to be suggested shadow. A little bit of texture here. And it's a little bit darker there. There we go. And back to the background. Now if your strokes get to the stage where you're even pressure, you can sketch like this. If you are not in control of your pressure just yet, don't do such long strokes. Now on our picture, he's got the corner of his foot there. I'm not bothered about that. I haven't put the gnarly lumping from the tree that was down here, so I don't need to continue that down. All right, and that is our HB. I'm going to use a clean bit on my paper stump, because if I use a dirty bit, it's going to go a lot darker. I'm just going to put some shadows in here using the pencil that's already there. Now there's only a few bright white bits on this bird, and around his eyes is probably a little bit too dark there. I'm just going to do some little texture bits, zigzags if you wish, underneath the crest. So nice quick sketching. The whole point of these exercises is so that you get faster, so you can paint and draw plain air better and easier, and with more confidence. And now I'm doing a bit dark. Now I can come through and use the darker part. See how the HB blends, whereas the matte one doesn't. Okay, so now our bird's nice and bright. Wipe some of this off on here. No particular reason except that I want to clean it later and I don't want too dirty. So now I'm going to come through. I'm going to darken his eye. Put the pupil in. I'm going to darken some of this, looking at where the darkest bits are. And there's a few little squiggly bits in there. Just give your brush, your pencil a little twist as you move it, and it'll give you an uneven look. Do an accent there. Nice sharp point on the end. And that's the front of his beak. Nostril. There's a few little wiggly bits through here, and this can probably go a little darker, but we want it to stand out a little. Little crooked bits, twizzly bits. Now if I do the edge there darker, this, now that it's blended in, I can see there's a few bits here that need accenting, plus our wood. I'm going to make that nice and rough because I like rough wood. Again, you can work your way through here and make it as detailed as you like later on when your birds run away. I'm just doing long zigzags for texture and then filling it in. Okay, a little bit darker darker under here. Under here. And here. You can't just put one spot of dark, like just the eyeball, if there's other areas that are just that dark as well. It just looks a bit odd. And on your reference you'll find that the dark of the beak almost disappears in with the dark of the background, but I'll put a tiny little bit of, it's not really backlighting because it's dark behind. Just leaving a tiny little bit there. Okay. Oops, doesn't matter. We try not to have oopsies, but when you're doing it fast sketching, that will happen. Round that edge, round that edge. That's a sharp edge. Now, I've got a couple of bits through here. I'm going to do is rub it out and then do them with the dark like this. Cutting in so the background becomes those little light bits. Just to remind me that there's some loose feathering there. After a little while your hand gets sore. Well, my wrist gets sore. But that's right. I can press lighter out here and give my arm a rest, or I can just keep going. Use my shoulder instead of my wrist. You can see as I get more and more tired or more sore, my texture becomes rougher. And if that happens, just stop, have a break, come back to it. I don't mind showing you my bad strokes, but I notice a lot of you actually work overtime doing, oops, sorry, I'm just moving it, and to make sure that you fix up your mistakes before you post them. That's fine. You do what you feel comfortable with. I don't really care if you see my bad bits. Smooth that a little. It won't blend like before, but we'll smooth a little. Now, this is dark as well. Wiping off that. Now I can use the kneadable and just get some of this off if I want to. And I'm going to put a bit more shadow on here. There we go. So there is your white cockatoo, sulphur crazy cockatoo, and I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.